Can you please give me a thumbs up just to be sure my mic is working fine? If you are there and you can hear me, please just give me one thumbs up or say something in the chat. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. I can see that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we'll be starting in the next 1 or 2 minutes, and you'll be able to put a face to the name. Okay. So, okay. Yeah, I think we should start now. Okay, I'll just do a few housekeeping. Okay, thank you very much for that. Okay, trying to switch on my camera. Okay, good to see you all. I'm sure as we progress, more people will join us. You might not be able to see other people because you are in a webinar mode, but don't worry, you are not alone. Okay, so tonight we'll be having a very wonderful time talking about the topic we have here, how to give purpose to every dime that you earn. And this is a very insightful topic, and I want you to stay to the end to listen to everything we're going to talk about today, because it's going to change your perspective towards every pound that flows into your pocket. Okay, my name is Tayo Olatimileyin, and I'm the lead coach at KWC Global Institute. And this is a monthly series of trainings that we hold. We've been doing this for more than a year now. The training part of it, we trained over 1,000 people in the last 13 months, because the first training was July 2023. We've trained over 1,000 people during that period. And we have series of training that which I will talk about as we progress now. And then if you do have any question, please feel free to either put up your hand or put your question in the chat. I will pause and I will answer your question. There is no stupid question. There is no silly question. Every question is important because there are different perspectives to things in life. And so you might want to bring a perspective, and it's also welcome if you want to contribute anything. This session is being recorded. I will make it available to us after the meeting. It will be uploaded onto YouTube, and you will be able to view it again. If you can take notes, that would be good. So this is part of the series of what we call building wealth for generations. We have quite a number of variation of this training, targeting different perspective in personal finance and investing. First of all, disclaimer that this session we want to have this evening is just for interaction only, it's for educational purposes only, and should not be construed as investment advice. And if you want to make any financial decision, please consult your financial advisor before you make that decision. Okay, so about the company, KWC Global Institute, we are into coaching and mentoring in the area of finance, personal development. We just summarize this to be that we help individuals or families to leap in every area of our life. And that means leadership empowerment to achieve profitability in every area of your life. And that's our social media handle. So I won't take so much time as we have a lot to talk about today. And these are the trainings we offer. We offer the building wealth for generation. We also have the winning with money, and then we have the master class for both of these. Then we have the career development training, which is called Reposition Yourself. And we deliver this training to individuals just like we have tonight. We also do to a group of people. We're going to run churches and groups to deliver this training to groups of people. Okay. Goal for this is to help hardworking individuals and families achieve true financial independence so that they can pave way for a prosperous future for generations that are coming after them. And this is our goal, and we hope that we're able to help as many people as possible to be able to achieve this. We're still going through this journey ourselves, and that we just hope that we don't want to wait until we are 70 and start giving counsel. We need to give the counsel while we are also doing the same thing after getting results over more than half, almost 1.5 decades of doing this, and they've been able to get good results. And I hope what you will learn today will add to your body of knowledge and will help you to be able to do better, especially in the area of finance, as this training is focused mainly on finance. Okay, and then what's our motivation? I've given a couple of a few points here. I said I started investing with as little as £100, and that has grown to multiple streams of income today. Some of them are in 7 figures, some of them are in 6 figures, starting from almost from nothing. And then I've discovered that regardless of that you become wealthy regardless of your income or your career. Your career choice does not determine how wealthy you become. And in fact, their career choice can be detrimental to them building wealth, because the money just keeps flowing. And the thing is that it probably won't keep flowing forever, but they do not know. And so they've gotten used to a particular lifestyle that does not align to building wealth or sustaining wealth. Becoming wealthy is not so much of how much you earn, and we discover all of these things. And then and again, I said I've made a lot of investment mistakes in the past, and I don't want other people to make the same mistake. So if you know better, you will do better. And that's the essence of financial education, or just education generally. And like I tell people that you can be very good at what you do professionally. If you're a doctor, you're an IT consultant, or you are a teacher, or you're an engineer, you are very good because you spent years and years studying your trade. You've gone to university, you've probably done masters, done PhD, you've done a lot of trainings and certifications, and you are very good at your primary, or what I would call your bread and butter, your day job, your 9 to 5 job. But when it comes to finances, not all accountants who can balance books for multinationals, for Fortune 500 companies or Fortune 100 companies, not all of them are prosperous or can balance their own family balance sheet. So it goes to say that it doesn't matter if you read finance, that you'll be able to understand what personal finance and investment is all about. It's a new body of knowledge that we need to learn along what we already know, for us to be able to conquer that area of our life. Okay. And I wish someone has told me this very long time ago, and I probably would have done better than I am doing right now. But thanks to God, where we are. So I believe that you can start where you are right now, and all you need is guidance, somebody who can help you get started. So about myself, I am a transformation consultant, transformation and change consultant. I have over 20 years experience in the working in central government and in private sector, both within and outside of the UK. I've got an MSc in business strategy, leadership and change, and I hold several certifications in my line of trade. So I still have a day job, which I do, but beyond that is the fact that I am a serial investor, and also a serial entrepreneur. I have been able to, like I've said, been able to interact with the financial markets over a very long period of time. And in fact, I have a slide that shows the first time I first registered my demo trading account, which I funded the same year, and that was 2006. That was quite a long time ago, I must say. Over 20, going to about 20 years ago. And that was when I started interacting with the financial market. And over the years, I've come to learn what to do and what not to do. And that is some of the things I'll be sharing with us today. But the focus today is giving your money, the money you have, purpose. And I'm going to start the class by playing a short video. The voice in that video is my voice. I don't mind the voice. It's a bit cracking, but don't just listen on. And then after that video, I think it's about a 2-minute video, and then I will continue with the class. So let me share the sound, my computer sound, so that you can hear the video properly. Okay, so I'm going to play this video, and then we go on from there. I want to quickly share with you a concept I learned during the week called pyramid
of Wealth by Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. The base of this pyramid are those who are in financial crisis. This level represents those who are without any source of income. They depend on handouts and generosity of others to survive. And next to this are those who are financially unstable, who have a source of income, but their take home is not anywhere close to what they need to meet basic needs of life. They live perpetually on personal loans and credit cards in order to augment their income. And next to them in the middle are those who are financially stable. These are the middle to lower upper class people. They have good jobs, they earn decent income, they drive good cars, they probably have a house on a mortgage, they can afford to go on holidays, etc. These are the most deceived set of people in this triangle because if they're out of job, they become financially unstable within 90 days. They have little or no savings, no income generating assets. They are actually 60 to 90 days from becoming homeless because the banks will come after them in no time. A lot of the so-called big boys and big girls are in this category. And number 4 in the triangle is financial independence. People at this level have enough assets to take care of their needs. They earn passive income from businesses and investment that is equal to or more than what they get from their day job if they still have a day job. They can choose not to work anymore. They have time freedom. And at the peak of this pyramid is financial freedom. At this level, you can take care of your needs and wants and even take care of thousands of people. You can make impact at a larger scale and give away millions and billions without stress. Which level are you? In order to move from one level to another, a new body of knowledge, a shift in mindset, and association is required. This got me thinking, and I'm hoping to double my efforts so that I can exit the just financially stable level and make greater impact by the grace of God. So I know I need to read more books, get more trainings, and build new connections to make this happen. So help me God. I do not know which level you are, but I'm inviting you to a free way to take care of their needs.
Okay. I think you can see that is just a food for thought. That is not the topic for today. That is just a food for thought. If you look at the one in the middle, which is financially stable, that seems to be where a lot of people in the Western world belongs to. We belong to the financially stable area. But if you look at the narration of or the explanation of what that means, it says they are the most deceived set of people within this particular triangle. And I won't say more than that. I want us to just to think, reflect on that as we continue this training. But that is not the topic for today. So I'm going to go into what that topic of today is all about. For those who just joined, we are just starting out. Okay, how to give purpose to every dime that you earn for a worry-free tomorrow. And that's the topic. So this image I'm going to show you next, some those who have been to this training before might be familiar with this image, but if you look at this image, we call it the 7 pillars of building wealth. And then within this pillar, there are a lot of things, and we have a foundation. So we'll be looking at this. So the topic of today aligns with financial control, which is you giving purpose to your money. And I just want to follow me carefully because this is something that if you are able to use it, it will benefit you a lot, even in your journey to building wealth. So we're just picking on that pillar, and we've tagged it giving purpose to your money or to every money that comes into your pocket. So the first thing we want to look at is, what does it mean to give purpose to your money? And if you look at it, dictionary meaning, purpose is the reason why you do something, or the reason why something exists. Is the intention. Or you can say your purpose of doing something is your intention of doing something, or the purpose of something could be the relevance or usefulness of that thing. And then we bring it down to what we're trying to discuss tonight, having intention or usefulness for every dollar or pound or naira or euro or whatever currency you spend that you earn is what we are talking about. And I call it tag and send. So it's a matter of tagging or putting a tail to every euro or to every pound that you earn, and then you send it on an errand. And that is what this is all about. It is a very pivotal foundation when it comes to us being financially free, or building, or for us to build wealth, or for you to look back at tomorrow in years to come and say, indeed, I think I did the little that I can do. I think I tried my best, either for yourself or for people who are coming behind you. You can proudly say that if you put this into use. So number one thing we're going to look at after this is why give purpose to your money. And I'll look at a couple of about 5 points there. Why give purpose to your money? Number one is that your wages is your greatest wealth building tool. And it's not winning lotto. It's not having an inheritance. It's not becoming the CEO of a multinational. It's not any fat salary that makes you worthy. What makes you worthy, okay, is that little income that is consistent that you have. And from there, you can build from there. So the first thing, and if you don't give your every money you earn a purpose, you will not be able to use it as a wealth building tool. And I'm just giving a few scenarios on this particular screen. If you look at it, you can see that if you consistently invest or put aside or give purpose to £500 on a monthly basis from age 25 to age 65 at the rate of 20% per annum, by the time you are at that age of retirement, you have 5.9 million. And I've done that, simulate that to here. If you do it for 30 years from 35 to 65, you have about 1.7 million. And mind you, in the UK, the average pension pot at this particular age is less than 300,000. In fact, it's less than 200,000, the average pension pot. So anybody can achieve anything or 0.7 has done themselves massive favor. You are kind of part of the top 5% or the top 10% in the country. Okay, and if you do 200 on a monthly basis for 30 years, you get 0.7. And then survey has shown that top 5 careers of millionaires are engineer, accountant, teachers, attorney, and people who are into management. Why? If you look at what they do, the kind of profession they belongs to are places where you need methodology. You need to be methodological when you do your job. You need to follow principles and processes, and that seems to be find attention to details. That seems to be the reason why I think these people were able to be the top 5 careers that made millionaires, and it's not based on how much they've been able to earn, but they've been able to put to use and give purpose to every dime that comes into their pocket. So I want to believe that at least there is a profession in the UK that cannot set aside about 200, depending on other factors, which we're going to look into, £200 on a monthly basis for a good period of time for you to be able to build wealth. So that's number one reason why you must give purpose to your money. Your wages is your greatest wealth building tool. And then we go to the next one. So why give purpose to your money? The next one is the purpose gives direction. Okay, purpose give direction. I think there's a word that we normally say that when purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. When the purpose of something is not known, abuse is inevitable. But when you give purpose to your money, you know direction of where you are going. It gives you a target that you are aiming at, and then you now have to follow the direction to get to where your target is. And that is very, very important, that when you don't give purpose to your money, it can just go in any direction that you don't want it to go. But when you give it purpose, you are a direction of where you are going to. And the next point there is that purpose also gives control. Our money should not control us. Okay, we should control our money. So your money we control if you don't give it a purpose. It will control you if you don't give it a purpose, or we just move at the impulse of our desires. Okay, we move at the impulse of our desires. Oh, there's an extra pay, or maybe there's an arrears being paid. Like we know what's going on for those who are medics. An arrears is being paid, and that is coming. You already have what you are going to use it for. It could be in line, might not be in line, but it's good that you already have a purpose for every pound that comes to your pocket before you can get that kind of money, and that applies to everybody. And so the next one is why give it a purpose, is that it prevents frivolity. That when you don't have purpose, you give your money purpose, it gives you start spending on what you thought was necessary, but in the real sense of it, you can do without them. And then there's a phrase here which is popular with me, that what each of us call our necessary expenses will always grow to be equal to our income if you don't protest to the contrary. And that is just life. That is just the way our life works. That when you don't give purpose to your income, it's your expenses we just keep growing to catch up with, no matter how much you are earning. And so there's a need for you to resist what is called lifestyle creep. That is, you start spending on things that are discretionary, and then you tell them to be necessary, that they are compulsory, whereas they actually, in the real sense of it, discretionary spending. And so there's a need for you to avoid that. There's a need for you to give purpose to your money, and that will help you to prevent what I call frivolity, or what I call lifestyle creep. The more we earn, the more our appetite, the bigger the car we want, the bigger the house we want. Yeah, they're all good in themselves, as long as that is the purpose to which we've tagged that particular money that flowed into our lives. And the next reason why you should give your money purpose is that others and circumstances will dictate to you what to use it for. Now, this is not about not helping people. You can help people, and that is a part of purpose you can tag your money with. Okay, you can say this one pound, the tag of it is to help other people, and that could actually be within the purpose. Okay, but when you don't give the whole of your income a purpose, other people, circumstances will come around and give a purpose to the money you worked very hard for. So you have to do it before other people and other things will give a meaning and purpose, or dictate what happens to your income. The next reason why you must give your money a purpose is that it is the foundation, like I've said, is it the foundation for financial prosperity. It is not about how much you earn, it is about what purpose you have given to your money. And that's what we'll be looking at today. And so that's just the few reasons that we have here, why this topic is very, very important to when it comes to personal finance, and when it comes to investment or building wealth generally, which is the central focus of this particular training. Okay, now let's go into the practical part of it. How do you give purpose to your money? How do you give purpose to your money? So the first thing, which we're going to do the practical of it, of this particular section, we do a practical. I'm going to pull up a spreadsheet now, which we're going to use to do practical. And if you want a copy of this spreadsheet at the end of the class, I'm going to I can put it in the chat for us to download. So the first thing is that you must have a vision for your life. Now, I didn't call it a financial vision. You must have a vision for your life. That today was yesterday's tomorrow. Some will say, don't worry, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. You've forgotten that today was yesterday's tomorrow. When yesterday you said, okay, I will do something today. Now we are now in today, and by tomorrow is going to be today, and next tomorrow is going to be today when you get there. So our future is not a destination in itself. Tomorrow or future is a cumulative of things we do on a daily basis. Those things cumulate to form what the future will look like, because our future is not a destination. You don't get to a place and say, now I'm in the future. No, you are just in another day. Okay, and then so there's a need for us to have a vision, living life on our own terms. And then so meaning forget for a moment. So I want us to now pick a pen and a paper, and then I said forget for a moment how things are right now. Think about how you want things to be, which is called a vision. Think about how would you want things to be. I know whatever it is right now, forget about it, but how would you want it to be tomorrow? How would you want it to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years? Okay, concerning yourself. What kind of holidays would you like to take? Is it go on a 2-week cruise in that Mediterranean, or go towards the Caribbean and just enjoy yourself? Is it for your children to be able to go to university and not coming out with £100,000 debt as a 21-year-old, as a 20-year-old? What is that career? Is it to build a business? Is it to be able to convert your current career into a profitable business or a side hustle? Or is it to be able to do things that you are passionate about? Is it to go hiking? Is it to go, whatever it is that you love to do? Is it to give to charity? Whatever it is you love to do, think about those things. Start having that kind of vision that of this is how I will want when I'm 40, when I'm 50, when I'm 60. This is how where I want to be. I want to have my own practice. If that is what you want to do, I want to have my own consultancy, or this is what I want to do. Just start thinking about that. What kind of lifestyle do you want to live? And from there, that is the step one. If you can't do it in this during this session, because just take out the note, and then like I'm saying, I think it's being recorded. We can also have the recording. The next step we're going to take in giving purpose to our money is that you make a list. You now make a list out of the things you've thought about. You make a list. This is not a bucket list of I want to go and climb Kilimanjaro mountain. Yeah, it could be it, but that is not the kind of bucket list I'm talking about. You make a list of what you need and what you want to achieve. That the things that you must do on a monthly or daily basis when it relates to money, that requires money, that relates to money that you need to do on a monthly basis, on a daily basis. For instance, you need to pay your rent on a monthly basis. Okay, or you need to go, maybe you want to go on holiday twice or 3 times in a year. Or maybe you want your child to have their own apartment when they are in part 1 or when they are freshers in the university. Or you want them to be out of school without having to owe anybody. Or you just want to retire at 55. And so that you have the energy to really enjoy the money you have made. So it could be whatever that list is, you can start making that list. And part of those needs could be that my electricity bill will be paid. I need to pay my electricity bill at the end of the month. So it could be from that tiny frivolous thing that you need to do to that big vision that requires 2-3 years to plan, or to that requires 6 months to plan, or that requires maybe a year or so to plan. So when we make that list, so I've made a list which I would bring up in a moment, and maybe after, let me run through it. Then I'll bring up that list. Then I will explain that list to us. I've tried to make it. This is my own personal list of the things that I kind of spend. I kind of plan and give a purpose to when it comes to the money that comes into us as a family. And the third step of how to give purpose to your money is to match your current spending to your vision. Now you've made a list of the things, short-term, medium-term, long-term things, visions, desires, needs, wants that you want to spend money on. And now you need to look at your bank statement to say, what have I been spending my money on? Have I really been giving my money purpose? Okay, so based on your actuals, or you now need to add numbers of how much you've been spending in that different list. So let me try and bring up the list that I have with me. I'm going to put that on in the chart now, and this would, if your spouse is around, you can invite them to join this, because it's good when you do it together as a family. If you're single, that's also okay. You have yourself there. So I put in a list of things. I put in from, if you see the ones in green, there are things that I need to do, and I need to do them on a monthly basis. If you look at something like social, entertainment, and holiday, okay, that is something that is out there in the future. If you look at childcare, and you look at personal development, family commitment, there are things that they could take more than to plan for more than a year. If you look at things like subscriptions, if you look at by the way, I'm not the medical person in my house, it's my wife. So I don't have, but that is part of those expenses. Okay. And then if you have subscriptions, you have home maintenance, you have other things that you are projecting to do. There are other things here, that are embedded in this travel and entertainment that I'm not explicit about, but you can be explicit about yours. So you do that. Let's go back to that spreadsheet. So what you now need to do at this point is that you now need to look at this column and put the current amount that you spend. Now, what will happen when you are doing this, according to, as you can see on my slide here, is that add those that are not part of your vision with the amount you've been spending on it. Sadly, by the time you do an audit of yourself to say where have I been spending my money, you come to see that it's a lot of things that you have on that list that were not part of the exercise you did on step 2, that you need to now add money. You now start wondering, how did you get on my list? I don't even have a plan for you at all. And I put a very sad, worry face here to say, oh my God, how come I spend so much money on this? It's not even part of some of the things that you think were very important to you in the first place. And so what you do with that is that you come down to the list here, and then you add more to that. You add more to that list, and then when you add more to that list, you also put an amount that you spent on it. Or you don't have to use a spreadsheet if you're not comfortable with it. You can use a book or a pen or a Word. Just draw a table in a Word document and do the same thing. And then you're able to add those things to the bottom and put the amount you spent on them. Put it on them. I'll give us this spreadsheet because I've added formula at the bottom to be able to sum up each of those columns. And so when you've done that, then we move on to the next step in giving purpose to your money. The next step is that, and like I said, some of them might be zeros. That could be something that you were actually part of your vision, but you've not been allocating money to, you've not been giving purpose to. But you now need to say, well, I've not been doing this, and it's part of the things I think are core to how I want to enjoy life. So this is not about restricting how you live. This is actually living life on your own terms. And that is why we started with vision. This is what I want to do. This is how I want my money to be allocated. This is how I want to give purpose to my money. Okay? And then from there, you now see that there are things that you wanted to do and you have zeros in front of them, and things that are not even part of your list, you have £1,000 in front of them. Okay, then we go to the next step. Then you need to tag your list. So you now need, when you make that list, you now need to start tagging it. So I've given 4 tags we can use. One is must have, which needs. We have the one I call good memory, things you want to enjoy in the now. Like go on a cruise, like go for fine dining with your spouse once in a month, or some do it every Sunday evening. A lot of British people will do it in the evening on Sundays, or they do roast at home, or they could go out for dinner. And then you have what the one you tag good future, or whatever you want to call it. That one is you having an excellent time later in the future. And then the fourth one is could have. These are the things that you can do without. They are not one of those things you've written down as the way you want to live life on your terms. They are must have. So we have must have, good memories, good future, and could have. And so what we're going to do is, for instance, when you pick this, you know that, and I start tagging them that this is, for instance, must have or must do. You know that this is another must. You know that that's another must. Essentially, the things I've painted in green here, highlighted in green here, are things: your TV license, your water rate, or sewage, where they collect sewage and water rate. You have the phone bill, you have your international calls, you have your internet, clothing, toiletries, miscellaneous. Some of these things, your miscellaneous, be very careful to limit to health care and toiletry, and some other stuff that, if you have a car, these are very important to you. You have 2 cars, then you double it. You have 3 cars, then you triple that particular line. And then your transport to work, childcare, very important if you have them. And then you are going to your subscriptions, your professional subscription, very important. Then you go into, and then I painted this something different. And then you go to your rent or your mortgage, very important. Taxes, very important. Or those are the ones that will fall into your must-haves. Okay, and then you now look at the one which is the good memory. And so for the good memory, so this one will come around here, And then what other lists, if you are more specific than myself, I intentionally didn't make this as specific, more specific than it is. I have my list of holidays, 3 holidays in a year, and then I have budget for them. I think done 2 this year. Yeah. So there are lists that will be within that place. It could be dinner out. You want dinner out once in a month, flower for the wife once twice or every week. Whatever is that thing, you want that to be there, and those are your memories. Those are the things you want to look. Even if you don't put, you don't need to post. I don't post pictures on social media, but I'm counting the continents. Yeah, I've been to that continent. I've been to that continent. Maybe I have one more continent to go, and you just counting, and then you enjoy the memories. You have your screen in your house that flash, that will give you flashback of the picture. You just enjoy that memory, and that's the good memory kind of thing. So you label that one. You give it a label. So this we go under the good memory purpose, and then you go from there. You now go to the next one, which is the good future that you want to enjoy, and that will probably come to where you have your investments, your savings for your maybe student savings. I also have your holiday savings. That could be a long-term holiday. You have here another one. So I'm going to paint that blue, okay, and I'm going to paint this another color. So I'm going to give that maybe amber, okay, savings and investment, which is the good future tag. So you label that good future, and then that way, and then let's see, the third one is could have. Now, some things could encroach on this particular thing you've done. Let's assume there are loans and credit card. Paying them off will now become must have. Okay, if you have personal loan, car loans, that becomes must have. As long as you still have them, they become something that you have to do, get rid of, that must get a tag or a purpose tag on a monthly basis. So that is step number 4, tag your list. Okay, and the part that we normally miss out from when we do this is that people don't tag. They don't have tag for the good memory. At times they don't have it for the things for the future, and it's something that we must have. The other ones that doesn't fall into those ones is could have. There are things you can do without. So when I look at your list and look at how much is there, you've given all of this priority, you've tagged them with how much you spent in your previous 2-3 months on them. You now look at the ones that are not, that doesn't fall into this. They are could have. They are not must have. They are wants and not must have. And so we now go to the third step. In giving purpose to your money, you now look at looking at how much is my income as an individual, or how much is our household income as couple. You look at a realistic total. Some of us have time to do extra work that gives us extra money, but it might not be consistent on a monthly basis. But look at what is your BRS minimum that comes in for you, for your household, or for you as an individual on a monthly basis. And after that, within that same step, once you know what that total is, you now allocate it starting from the must have. So if I now go up, come back here. So now I know that this is the current money I've been spending on all of these things. It could be different, it's going to be different figures. So in your purpose amount, this is the current amount, your purpose amount. Okay, you now start putting in your purpose amount. Maybe this one is 10, maybe this one is another 10, maybe this one is 30, maybe that one is 20, whatever is your purpose money. So what will now happen through this exercise is that some of these ones that you put money to before, it could be that you say, oh, I have Amazon, I have Netflix. What am I doing with both of them? Okay. Actually, you could have. One of them could become 0. One of them could still retain whatever it is you pay on a monthly basis for it. But the first thing you want to do is that you want to allocate to the must have first. That are the things you need: shelter over your head, you need clothes, you need shelter, you need clothing, you need food, you need transport to work, you need to pay your constant bills like electricity, TV license, and your utility bill, So these are the ones you first of all allocate amounts to, and then you now move on in that order. Go and allocate amounts to the good future that you've envisioned for yourself. And once you allocated amounts to them, then you allocate amounts to the good memories. You allocate amount to the good memories that you have, that you want to have, and then whatever is left is what goes to other things that does not fall into those pockets. Some of them will get zero, some of them will get the amount that you can afford to put into them. So this is what is popularly called paying yourself first. Paying yourself first means that this is how I want to live, and I'm going to allocate my resources to how I want to live first, and then other things can come after. You paid yourself first by allocating to your good memory and by allocating to your good future within your tag. So let's move on back to that spreadsheet. So that's step number 5. Allocate a monthly amount to each of them. And so for the things that you probably won't spend right now, which is what we're going to go into next. So let me just go there on my spreadsheet. I'm sorry, on the PowerPoint. So after that, to be able to now be successful at that particular sheet that you have done, and this is easy to do once you set it up. Trust me, it's what I do. It's what we do. So you now need to automate the implementation of that process. So you've said this is how much goes to this. This is how much goes to this. This is the purpose for this £5. This is the purpose for this £10. This is the purpose for this £100. Once you've done that, you now need to automate the process. There's a way our brain has been designed to work. It goes through the path of least resistance. It's just like water. When water is flowing, water just goes through the curves, avoids the mountains, avoid all the if you block the road, it's going to avoid it and flow and go somewhere else. That's the way our brain has really been designed. When something is there and it's very hard for the brain to look, the brain thinks of it. The brain will think of an alternative, and that is why we also have innovation. That is why people are thinking of easier way to do things, the cheaper way and easier way to achieve a particular task. And so if you don't follow this particular step, then it's going to make a mess of the other things that you have done. So I put in here that create X number of accounts, but these are the ones I would suggest. If you want to change that X to 5 or to 4, you can. And this does not necessarily mean a bank account, okay? Okay, this does not necessarily mean a bank account. So you have an inflow account, which is where your salaries come into. Okay, you have a monthly recurrent account, which is where your expenses will be taken out from. And then you now have your good memory account and your good future account. You have these 4 accounts at the minimum. Like I said, they don't have to be a bank account. So what happened? Let me now show us the way this will work. Let's spend some time here. So money comes into a particular account, which is your checking account, or which is your salary account, or which whatever income is coming from business or whatever it is coming from is going into the particular account. Now, you now set up direct debit or standing order on that account. If you look at the list, a lot of them will already have direct debit. If you don't have it, please set them off. These, a lot of them will probably be on direct debit. Maybe not these ones. All these ones above will probably be on direct debit. These ones will probably already be on direct debit. This on direct debit. This for me is on a standing order. Okay. And then when it comes to this, I will explain that when I go back to the spreadsheet. So those recurrent expenses should go into an account. And what we do in my family, the first day of the month, a particular amount goes into an account. That account is for recurrent expenditure. For instance, especially this particular line, feeding, clothing, clothing and miscellaneous. This account, let me try and separate it. This account, they are things that let me look for another color I've not used. Okay, that the money for that goes into a particular account. On that account, there is a bank card on it. Okay, So there will be a bank account on this account, and that is where you spend money from. That is where your Amazon purchases go to, and that is where you buy this, you buy that. They are under miscellaneous. It will go there. Groceries will go there. Other things that you spend money on a monthly basis that are not direct debit that you spend that you spend at your discretion, but they're important to you, we go to that particular account when you sum it up. So what we do is to say you add this together, whatever you've allocated, maybe it is 500, 1,000, 2,000, it goes into that account. Okay, and then for the next one is your good memory account. This will go depending on how soon you want that thing done. That goes in most cases into a savings account, and I'll show us in the next slide what type of savings account that can go into. This because your holiday could be in 6 months' time. You don't want that money here, and you don't want that money here. You want that money somewhere where you can't reach because you want that to happen. Okay, so that goes into an account, a savings account somewhere. Easy access savings account is where that money will go to, and that money also will be on standing order because you might not be able to do a direct debit because it's not business to you. So you create a standing order on this particular account that moves that money into this account on the 1st of the month, and you know what is that good memory is meant for. Then the good feature also, you have an account. The account doesn't necessarily mean to be a bank account again. It could be an account, an investment account somewhere where this money by direct debit on the 1st of the month, it goes in there because that is the purpose you've given to that particular amount of money. So maximum 3 bank accounts are one, and whatever is left now in this account could not take care of other things that could have. You want to give somebody money, you want to help somebody, you want to do this, or you saw one extra thing you wanted to do that is not part of your list. Whatever is left in this account, if any at all, is what that will go to. And this account also, you have to be careful because that is what your family food, that is where your food is coming from. So you know how to manage it very well. So what am I saying? This does not have a card. This account, if it happens to be a bank account, it must not have a bank card. This account, if it happens to be a bank account, must not have a bank card. So you don't have access to that money unless you walk in physically into a bank. But I will tell us where to put it so that you can't even walk in there, okay, until you need it for what you proposed it for. While there's a card on this and there's a card on this, which is a current account, whatever is left on this is what we go to whatever you want to use it for. Then let's move on. Okay, so for your good memory account, I'm suggesting 2 types of account. One of them is called it could be an easy access or a fixed savings account. So, or it could be a platform called NS&I. NS&I is a government-backed platform. Let me bring it up. It's a government-backed platform that you can put money into. Let me just open the page for you. Is you giving loan to the government. It's 100% secure. NS&I is backed by the government. It's called Premium Bond, and it's 100% secured. It said we are backed by HMR Treasury, and we've been helping people save for the last around 60 years that they've been around. They have 24 million customers that save with them. So this one is, any money that is there is 100% secure. For us, any money we need for holiday, for good memory, goes into this particular platform. And so it's not a place where you can easily go and just withdraw money. There's no card on it. If you need it, you can get your money within 3 or 4 days. Okay, if you need it, but it's not something you have easy access to, like your ATM or your bank card. Okay, I think then the next one there. Okay, so such money can also go to money market. Money market is interest-bearing instruments. Okay, maybe an ISA account that gives you 5% per annum, and they allow easy access because you might need it in 6 months' time. You might need it in 1 year's time, and so that is where your memory account, your good memory and money goes into. Or treasury bills that have maturity for 90 days, 120 days, or whatever days maturity that is within the plan that the time you budgeted or you are planning to achieve that good memory. And these are the websites you can go to either compare ISA accounts or this, and that is the NS&I account I just showed for short-term savings. And then here, if you go to any of these money comparison websites, you will be able to see other options for you when it comes to short-term savings. Okay, so let's continue. And then for the good future account, that must be an investment account. So that also does not necessarily have to be a bank account that you easily have access to. You do a standing order with direct debit, tag that money, it goes directly from your bank account into an investment account. Okay, so let me just go back to where I have the list of accounts. So if you can, I can now really explain this to us now. So we can see, so the inflow that is coming in goes into your current account. You have a card on it for the things that you need. Another one goes into a recurrent account, which also have a bank account, a bank card. One we have the direct debit. For this one, we did all the direct debit for like electricity, your mortgage, your rent, your car insurance will be there. Okay, and the ones for your for miscellaneous, for feeding, for your clothing and whatever will be here. You give it an amount, because this one is not direct debit. You spend that money on a daily basis, while this one, they are all direct debit. And these other two are their standing orders that goes either into an easy access savings account, your NS&I, or it goes into an investment account. Okay, and so we will now, let me see how many minutes we have. And let me pause here and let me allow questions. So we are just about an hour deep into this particular session. Sorry, if I've been talking to myself, who is gaining something? Is it making sense? Is it making sense what we're looking at here? If you have any question at this point, you can ask. So don't forget that list. Don't forget the tagging, very important. So you know what's important for you. You can actually sort it based on whatever you tag you're given to it. Sorry, let me go back. You can actually tag it based on the. Oh, thank you very much. You are welcome. So you can actually base it based on you got the tag, you got the current amount you're spending on it, your purpose amount, and then as the year goes on, you can now start putting in your actual into it and see how the actual will turn out at the end of the year, and that will help you to repurpose your money for the following year. And over the years, you come to understand where your money is actually going and the purpose you're given to your money. So let's go back. So I will now lay a bit of emphasis on the last two. So your good memory money and your future money is the area I will now lay emphasis on. What do you do with the money for good memory? What do you do with the money for good future? And that takes us into look, like I've said, okay, I think this one is not hard to explain. It's just money market for your good memory, and then for the good future account, this is where you now need more knowledge about what to do with it. For the good future account, you want to look at asset classes, income generating asset classes, because it's not something you need in 10 years time. It's probably something you, depending on your age, something you need about 20 years time or 15 years time, or at least maybe in the next 10 years that you are going to need it. So you want to look at things like this that are assets that you can put that money into. Is that a question? Unfortunately, some of us are not. Okay, yes, just like myself. Some of them are no longer in our 20s or even 35. This would mean one has to put aside a lot more on a monthly basis to save up over time, doesn't it? Yes, the answer is a yes. If I give you my own personal story, as at the age of 40, my pension account was less than £6,000. When I was at the age of 40, my account was less than £6,000. And that means, like, what, just to corroborate what you just said, that I now have to put in effort into building a beauty from that less than 6,000 to over 6-figure income it's gone over 100,000 that are built into, apart from the real estate investment to over $1 million. Okay, so the shorter time you have, the more you now have to put in. And I can quickly simulate that for us, just to answer the question you just asked. Let me bring up this popular thing I normally use. It means that if you look at if you put aside 500 at about 12%, for, let's assume you are one is 40, maybe no, you will assume somebody is 40 now, and you want to retire at 60, you don't want to wait till 65, or let's even say 65, that makes it 25 years that you want to put things aside, and you're doing that 500 on a monthly basis. That would take you to 900, which is still a very, very decent sum when it comes to you building for retirement. But someone who's got less than 25 years means you probably need to increase this to maybe, let's say, 700, and then maybe you say you now have 20 years to put that together, and let's see where that gets you. That will get to. You can see you can see that 5 years could make, even though you increase the amount, but the fact that you reduce by 5 years means that you can't even catch up with somebody who did it for at least for an extra 5 years. So the earlier, and that's why I tell people, the earlier you start to plan for the future, the easier it becomes. Someone who is starting at the age of 20, for instance, probably need 200 on a monthly basis to achieve the same thing that you are trying to achieve if you are starting out at 40. 200 on a monthly basis, sorry, no, it won't be for 20 years. That will be for about 40 years, because 20 plus 40 is 60 years old. The person will have 2 million, even though they do 200. So the earlier you start planning for that good future, the better. The lesser the amount you need as capital to put aside into that, to tag as that money. I have to be doing close to 2,000 on a monthly basis to be able to close that gap of me starting very, very late, because the first how many 5 years in this country I have no pension at all, and then another 5 years maybe I had another 5,000, and I was like, hey, time is really, really running out. And then I had to put in up to at times 2,000 in a month, at times more than 2,000 in a month into investment to be able to close that gap. The earlier the better. I think that's the moral of. Thank you for the question. I think that's the moral of that question. I hope I've answered your question. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so asset class, you want to put your money in income generating asset classes. And one thing you want to look at is, if you've not reached retirement yet, okay, if you are not yet in retirement, you want to put that money in high yielding, more high risk but high yielding. You want to put it in more in high interest and high yield kind of investment. When you get to retirement, that's the way you reallocate, and then you move it back into some other less aggressive but income generating assets. So these are some of them. I'll just look quickly at a few of them. So the first thing I'm going to look at is real estate. So your good future tagged money, one of the areas you can put it into is real estate. Okay, and the other one is stock market. But I'm going to start. Let's start with okay, two things you can put it into. These are the things I'm going to talk about. I'll talk about stock market. I'll talk about real estate. But I'm going to talk about it in a slightly different way than what we are used to. Okay, so the first thing there is talk about the stock market. So the stock market in this sense is you becoming a shareholder of company. So you want that money as it's going into an account, you want to put it to work. You want to give it, you want to send it on an errand. Like I said, tag and send. You want to tag it and send it on an errand. You want that money to go and make more money for you. You want to be sleeping and you want that money working for you. See, it's not working 9 to 5 that makes you rich. It's your money working 24/7 for you that makes you rich. You want to give it a purpose to go, or send it on a mission to go make more money for you. And so that, in that sense, you become an investor. And that's a passive way of you earning money. I say passive income through the stock market. It's got a low entry level. It means even with as little as £10 in your good future tag or purpose money, you are able to put into the stock market. Okay, so it's not by some people, there are different things that happens these days. People put money into crypto, or they trade crypto. People put money into trading. They trade currencies, they trade derivatives, they trade a lot of things. Like I said at the beginning, I started trading 2006. Then that's some years, that's some about a couple of decades ago that I started trading. But I can tell you for free that trading will most likely lose you money. And if we look at the statistics in the UK, which I'm just going to show us very quickly, Google trading. I'm not saying some people will not make money from trading, but let's assist trading platforms, which is what a lot of young people want to do. Government has mandated them to give statistics of how much people are making money. So you can see 80% of retail traders, that's CFD, certificate of difference, lose money. Okay, if I go to eToro, because eToro has got two aspects to their platform, so they've hidden that. If you go around to eToro and you go to, there's trading and there's investing. If you go to trading, then they will be made it compulsory for them to put it on their website of how many people either make or lose money. Okay, let me see if that is there. Yeah, they said 51% of retail account lose money. I think that percentage has improved for them. If you look at this, it says 76% of people lose money. Okay, you can't be one of the 20% that will make money. If you go to other trading websites, UK government don't joke with citizens, and then so they know how to. If you go to the trading part of it, of this particular website, they will also put it there of how many people lose money. I can't find it here, but they are meant to put it. I think you can see from the few ones that we've seen, the average is like 70-75% of people lose money when they trade the market. So what am I advocating for is that you become a shareholder. Become a shareholder of blue chip companies. Okay, where you have rights and responsibilities, where you can even vote for what the management is doing. They send you a mail telling you, email us what you want your vote to be on this particular issue. Should we increase the management's salary or not? I get those emails all the time. Okay, and these are stock exchanges through which you can do that. But things have changed. Things have moved on, as we all know, that everything can now be done on an app on your phone. You don't have to call anybody, a stockbroker, to be able to do this for you. And so you are able to do it directly from the comfort of your home. And why am I suggesting that one of the places you can put that good future money into is stock market? And these are the reasons why stock market still remains a place where all the billionaires in this world have their money. Warren Buffett, which is one of the greatest investor of all time, who doesn't really own a company than an investment company, has all his money invested in other people's company, and which worth billions and billions. The pension fund we contribute at work, a bulk of it we end up either in real estate, private equity, bond, or into insurance companies, or into stock market. And in fact, insurance money also, contributions also will end up, a lot of it, and we end up in the stock market, over 60 trillion. That is why government is very protective of the stock market. And in fact, when they know that people are losing confidence in the stock market, they start printing money. They start doing QE, quantitative easing, to bring money to buy, mop up all the excess shares in the market, and then the price goes up again. You can say, okay, is that making it good? Well, they are protecting the rich. I think that's just the moral of the story. So why can't you play in that same field where every one of them is playing? It seems to be a place that is being protected generally by the government. Like I've said, this is not day trading. This is not crypto trading. I have a bit of crypto, I think it's about £400 now. Okay, that I have there. It keeps going up and down, but I don't trade it. I just bought it and I left it there. But And if I say 500, and I'm talking about asset in millions, so it's nothing to me as a person. Okay. So and so that it's important that you look at it. So a lot of people at times are afraid of the stock market, but I will give us a bit of story that will make you comfortable when it comes to the stock market. It said is the eighth wonder of nature, which is compound interest is the eighth wonder of nature. And what happens over time, like that question that was asked, time and compound interest work in your favor. The more time you have, the better. Okay, so that what can you vary in compound interest? You vary capital, you vary rate of interest, or you vary the length of time. These are the three variables that you can vary. There are some things that is not in your control. The rate of interest might not really be in your control, but how much capital you put in is in your control. The length of time you want to leave it for might also be in your control. And so that is why we look at how we can play around with those figures and see what we get. I won't bore you with the formulas for all of those, but what I can show you is that I won't bore you much with this. Just one demonstration, and then we'll move on because of our time. Okay, so as I've said there, if you put 1,000 away on a monthly, or if you start with 1,000, you start with 200, and you put 200 away on a monthly basis for a child at 10%, by the time that child is 18, that child can go to school, university, without having to owe anybody. They can buy a house when they're in the university because they have £100,000 in their investment account, and that will only cost us 200 on a monthly basis to be able to do it for one child. Okay, and then if let's assume, like, let me go to if you have enough time and that child lives till they are 55, they already have almost £6 million to 200 when they are 55 if they don't touch the money. And then if for those who are, maybe you have a period of 30 years, that will give you about 600. If you do 500 for a period of 30 years, that will give you 2.2. 300 for 30 years will give you about 700, and so on and so forth. But let me just do a demonstration of just one of them, and then we move on because of our time. So we are talking about giving purpose to your money. Okay, so let's pick one. Let's pick one. Let's pick. So we have different age group on the call, I believe. If let's assume someone who is just starting out, maybe you can put aside £100. For instance, maybe you are a teenager, or you are just turning 20, and then you do that, and then you do it for the next 40 years, and then you do 100 on a monthly basis. What you're going to have is that by the time you are 60, you already have 1.1 million in your account. Now let's assume that someone is already in their 40s, and you want to retire at 60 or 65, like I did a while ago, and then all you have left is about 25 years. It means as an adult, you have to muzzle up more money, let's say 500 on a monthly basis, to be able to get to a decent figure. And then, in the UK, what is suggested is that with 500,000, for a single person, with about 500,000, you will have a comfortable retirement. That good feature we all desire. Still go on holiday, change your car, change your kitchen. Maybe every 5 years or whatever. With about $500,000 in retirement, you should be able to do that. But if you're a couple, about 1,900,000 and something is what is needed for a couple to be able to have that comfortable lifestyle based on the standard of United Kingdom. And so this already is getting you to about 900. And if you have about, let's say you want that in the next 20 years, and you want to maintain the same figure, that comes down drastically. That will come down to 500, which is still decent. And you are doing this probably in parallel to your workplace pension. And for some of us who are consultants, just like myself, we are self-employed, I'm responsible for my own pension. Okay, I don't have an NHS pension. I don't have a workplace pension. I have to be responsible for my own pension. And so if you're that person, you want to make sure you are doing a good 10% of your income, you are putting in somewhere. Okay, since you don't have employer's contribution hard into it, you want to have a decent, and very important, people leave this till very late because you're self-employed, nobody is chasing you on it. It's not removed from source. it's at your discretion to be able to remove it. And that's the reason why you must give purpose for that money before it enters your account. Is as coming day one, first of the month, it's out of it. It's out of your account. It's gone to that investment account, which I will also explain further. So let me do this. Okay, so if you have 20 years, that's how much. But like I said, you can vary the amount, you can vary the time to suit your vision or the target you want to go for. So let's look at a 25-year period, and then we look at this. And see, I'm working on the video. I'm going to publish on my Instagram. Maybe in the next one week. Maybe we should have a listen. Maybe you should be the first to listen to that video. And that video was talking about the fact that, and it's actually got the video from Yahoo Finance, and the gentleman speaking there was talking about the fact that talking about you consistently investing. You should dollar cost average. But the thing I want to bring up from the conversation with that a particular reporter was the fact that when you get to a time when you are in retirement, all you need to do is to make sure you spend the interest on your money. You move your asset to fixed income generating investment, so that all you are spending is that you are not cannibalizing your capital. All you are spending is the interest that is coming in. And I'm going to demonstrate that for you, for us now. Let's assume you are now 60 years old and you have 950,000 in your account. 950,000 when you turn 60. What you need to do is to move this into a fixed interest, or move a bulk of it into a particular fixed interest bearing account that can still give you that much at 60, or maybe you are 65 and let's assume another 40 years to become 100-year-old. Okay, but what you'll be doing here is that you don't have money anymore. You withdraw money on a monthly basis. But what you want to withdraw is that you want to make sure you are withdrawing less than 10% of this money is 95,000. You put yourself on an income of about maybe 75. What's 75 divided by maybe 70 something by 12? Any mathematician in the house? Okay, 75 divided by 12 will give us 6,000. Let's say you put yourself on a salary of 6,000 on a monthly basis for the next 40 years when you turn 105 or 100. And so this is what you are going to have. So you are on a 72,000 per annum salary as someone who has retired, which I think is a lot of money. At that point, you probably don't have mortgage money to pay anymore, probably don't have school fees to pay anymore. It's probably you and your chick, or you and your hobby, maybe you and your children, or maybe however you've chosen to live our life. Maybe it's going to be you and your friends, and however we choose to do that. So you now have it that you have about 72,000 on a monthly basis, and that money will never finish. Because why will it never finish? When you are 100 years old, you still have 30 million in that account. What are you doing? You are not eating into your capital. You are eating the interest on your money. Your interest on a yearly basis is 96,000. Maybe dividend, fixed. You bought corporate bonds, and then you have maybe you have other things you put money into that can give you an average of 10%, which is possible on a yearly basis, and you are withdrawing 72 out of the 96. That is your profit on a yearly basis, and that means that money can never finish. And that is where you really want to be, and the next generation can continue where you stop if government regulation has not changed by then, because they can actually have part of that as you can transfer that to part of that to those who are coming behind. So that is an example of how to make your money work for you even while you are still sleeping. And the earlier we want to start that journey, the better. So I've used 10% in most of my calculation because, like I said, history is on your side. You might be afraid of the stock market, but when you stay in the stock market over a long period of time, you can average at least 10%. If you look at the historical return for S&P 500, now S&P 500 is top about 505 or about 500 companies in America. The top 500 companies in America, in terms of market capitalization, they are the ones that form the S&P 500. So companies would drop, and some of them, just like the Premier League, some will drop, will be relegated, some will come into it, but they have a club of 500, and then the average return over the years, in the last 95 years of history of S&P, is around between 9-8% thereabout that you achieve. Recently, it's been the last 25 years, the mean, that's the mean. But if you look at in the last 10 years, it's 11. In the last 5 years, is 13 and 11, and you can be year, there could be year when the market is negative, but there are years when it's 28%. Year when it's minus 18, but there are years when at the end of the day when you are 32%, and so it all depends on what how long you stayed for, so that you can enjoy that average. And I've looked at other areas. These are technology companies in America, minus the financial services company, which is in the NASDAQ 100. That will give you an average of 17%, and the last 25 years is given a annual mean of 16%. And if you look at the Dow Jones are the about 30, I think 30 industrial average, industrial company in the industries in America, manufacturing companies in America, and some other big blue chip company. That will give you, average, a decent average of what you can see here. And so with that in mind, like I tell people, I've been in stock market for about a decade now. I've not lost money. That's what I would say. I've not lost money is because the average of how much I've made is surpasses. I mean, positive. Let me just put it that way. It means even some might be in negative, but I have a lot more that are in positive than the one that are in negative, and that averaged out everything to give me a very a decent, a positive, put me in a positive position. And so history is on your side. 95 years of history is on your side. Okay, that if you stay for the long term, you will benefit. And here I put in some companies here. I might not be able to go into all the simulations because I just want us to finish even before the time, before the 2 hours that we've allocated. And so there are a few companies here that I put as an example. Okay, what I'm going to do is let me give us the opportunity to give me some list of companies. Let's assume let's assume you were given £5,000 or £2,000 today, or £5,000 today, and you want to put in the stock market. Which company will you put that money into? If you can please put in the chat. Let's just quickly do this before we move on. So I'm going to put that link in the chat for us. Okay, this is your money, the purpose money that is meant for that very good feature that we all kind of desire and working towards. But what we are not trying to do in this respect is to be intentional upfront about the vision, what we want to get to, and how we want to get there. Okay, I've got somebody who's put something for me. Someone said Toyota, Coca-Cola. I love Toyota. It's been down. I have Toyota as an investment. It's been down a little bit in recent time, but I love it. Toyota Motor Corporation. Okay, someone said Toyota Motor Corporation. I'm going to give it a period of 10 years. That will give us 2014 September 5. And let's assume you put in, you have £2,000 or dollars. It doesn't matter the label on it. So Toyota will have given you an average of 7% on a yearly basis. But mind you, if you look at it, Toyota pays dividend. So that will have added to how much money you would have made. Let me look at Toyota here. Toyota Corp. Let's look at the US listing for Toyota. If you go, this is Google Finance. It's free to use. Okay, they didn't put it here. They didn't put it here. But Toyota would have given you some dividend. Okay, let's look at the next one. Anyone else? Can anyone else put in for me? There are quite a number of us. Can anyone of us put in for me any other company you would probably put your 2,000 into? Let's look at Coca-Cola. You've chosen very safe ones. KO is the ticker for Coca-Cola. There are two of them. There is one that is called Coke, which is the American, the consolidated bottling company for America. That will probably give you a better return. That would have given you a return of 31%. Your 2,000 will have become 31,000 within that 10-year period, giving you an average of 31% return on a yearly basis. But there's Coca-Cola International, okay, which is the main company. That will not give you as much as that. That will give you a 7.9% return on a yearly basis, which is 4,000. More like you double your money within 10 years. Okay, any other person putting anything there? Sorry, I wasn't charging my laptop. Okay, yeah. Okay. So any other one there, you want to use the ones examples I have? So let's use the common one. I know if I'll probably want to buy Apple, which I think a lot of us use. Okay, I know that will give us a good 26%. If I will probably want to buy Facebook Meta platform, and that will give us an average of 19%. If I want to do it, I'll probably want to buy Amazon. Okay, someone's put another one there. I want to buy Amazon. Amazon will have given me an average of 26% on a yearly basis. And someone put Tesla, and we look at that, and that would have given you an average of 29% on a yearly basis. And if you want to look, let's come home. Maybe let's which company can we give me some other? If you can please give me some other names that are not that popular. Let's look at Nike. Nike won't give you too much, but I know people, a lot of us use Nike. Nike will give you 7%, but we all use Microsoft. We all use Microsoft products. That will have given you a decent 27%. A lot of us go to Costco to shop. Let's look at what Costco will have given you. Costco will have given you a decent 23%. What other popular? So these are some popular ones. There are some that are not as popular, that are out there, that are, they are just upcoming. They are upcoming companies that are out there, either in tech, in healthcare, in telecom. There are about 11 sectors which I normally which when you want to build a portfolio, you build your portfolio across 11 sectors, and I have a template for that, for you to be able to diversify from financial to energy to pharmaceutical, biotech, and to real estate, to technology. Within technology, there are different groups within technology that you can also diversify into. So what am I saying is that to achieve a 10% return is not rocket science. And that is what the moral of what I was trying to say. We have some other big other companies that will probably do a lot more than the things I've shown us. For instance, AI is out there booming. If you try NVIDIA will give you massive return, at least assets. We don't know what it's going to do tomorrow, but because of that. And I put something here which is called dollar cost average. It means no matter what the situation in the market is, in the video I was saying I will probably publish in 2 or 3 days time. It was saying, Dama was saying that just buy the same thing over and over again on a monthly basis, regardless of whether the market is up or down. Just keep buying the same thing. At the end of the day, there is no way you won't turn out to be a winner when it comes to stock market. So that is one place where you can put that purpose money for the future. Doing nothing or procrastinating is riskier than making informed investment decision. And that is why somebody like me is here. I've gone through and I'm still going through that process, and I'm able to hold your hand to be able to show you that that one, don't touch it. It looks good, but don't touch it. I can say Tesla looks good, but don't buy Tesla now. Wait for a few more, whatever. Or I can tell you that, well, that looks good, but you might not. It might be negative for the next 1 year, but in the next 1 year, it might be able to give you start booming, because I have gone through that cycle a lot of time myself, and I can. So for you to be able to now participate in the stock market, someone is putting something. Please, do you always do calculations in dollars? But we may not earn in dollars. Well, it depends on the platform you are using. For me, when I do calculation, it does not matter the symbol in front of it. What I'm after is the number. But when that comes to the actual investing, so when you invest, you buy equities in dollar, so that will be an FX. They convert it to pounds for you. When you are buying, when you are selling, they convert it back. They sell it for you in dollar and convert the money back to you in pounds. So you pay some FX fee when you are buying or selling when it comes to the stock market. So there is my account is denominated in pounds. Okay, so it's in pounds. So that doesn't matter. The calculation is just for the ease of doing that. So when it now comes to the type of account you can open, like I said, your purpose money could be for a child investment, it could be for a young adult, or it could also be for yourself. It could be for your retirement, it could be for, okay, it could be that you highly want to do real estate, but you think, okay, let me save this money together for the next 2 years, then or 5 years, then I'm going to go into real estate. Whatever it is you want to use that money for. Okay. And then for a child, we are all familiar with this, so I won't spend so much time on it. That's what is called the junior ISA in the UK. And in the junior ISA, you are allowed as a parent or even grandparent to put money into it, or even friends and family to put money into for a child up to 9,000 in a tax year. And then for that 9,000, any money that account makes is tax free. When that child turns 18, the account automatically will be given to them, and then they can start. So teach them so that when they turn 18, they won't blow the account. They will know what to use it for. They will consult you before transferring the account to them, because you open the account in their name. Okay, so let's also train our children as a let's let them manage the account when you are the one controlling. Let them manage the account to understand how to invest, okay, and know what to use the money for. And so we also have what is called the LISA account. It's for people who are age 18 to age 39. And this account is very good for people who are below 40. These accounts, government will add 25% of the amount you've invested. You can invest up to 4,000 in a tax year, April 6 to April 5 of every year. And then government will keep adding 25% to the amounts you invested up until when you turn 50. Okay, and then you can either use the money to buy your first house, or if you don't buy your first house with it, then it becomes more like a retirement account. You can't touch it until you turn 60, which makes it a very good retirement account if you don't touch the money, because you're going to get 25% bonus for free. So you're going to get 25% bonus for free, which the government will not take back. When you start withdrawing that money at 60, you are having a retirement that is tax free, which I think is beautiful, because normally your pension will be taxed. There's a rancor going on right now whereby they've increased pension, but they didn't increase the threshold for that, the first allowance where you don't pay tax on. So pensioners will probably start paying taxes, even though they earn just slightly above 12,000, which, well, I don't know whether it's fair or unfair, but your pensions will be all our pensions will be taxed. But so if you have the opportunity of opening a LISA account, you can retire at 60 without, you don't even have to wait to 68, and you don't have to pay any tax on the money in your LISA, and you run away with that 25%. Okay, another account you can open is the junior account, junior SIP. This is a retirement account for a child from age 18 to age 0 to 18. A child can actually start planning for their retirement at age 0. As a parent, you can put in 2,880. Government will add an additional 20% to that money, because you are investing with the after-tax money. Okay, they give you your tax back, just literally giving your tax back, and that also your child can, by the time they are 55, they can withdraw from it. That age is going up to 58 very soon, but at 50, currently it's 55. You can withdraw a 25% lump sum from that money without having to pay taxes, or you pay taxes after that. Any withdrawal after the 25% lump sum, you start paying taxes on your withdrawals based on how much you withdraw. And so we also have what is called ISA. This ISA is for the senior ISA. Anybody above 18 can also have this ISA. So somebody who is below 40 can have LISA and this particular ISA together at the same time. But the thing there is that you can't put in more than 20% across all your ISAs account, both the savings account and the savings account, the cash ISA and the stock share ISA, sorry, you can't pay in more than 20,000 across all your accounts. It's been increased to 25,000, but the remaining 5,000 has not been implemented. The remaining 5,000 is called the British ISA, which means you can only put the money into companies, can only buy stock, British company stock from the stock market, but that has not been implemented. But that has been signed, has been approved by the Tory government before they left earlier in the year. Okay, and then let's go on to the next account you can open. We have thousands of people who are ISA billionaires who don't pay tax in the UK. You want to be one of them. That tax thing, I don't like it. It's just too much. You just get half of your salary. And if there's anything I don't like about this country is the taxation. So any way, any means to say, okay, I made some money in this country and I don't pay tax on it, I would love to take that opportunity. And one of them is you opening an ISA account. Any profit on your savings account in ISA or your stock market gains on your ISA, you don't pay capital gain tax on it. Okay, SIP is your retirement account. So anything apart from your workplace pension that you open is your SIP. And any money you put into SIP, you get a tax break on that particular amount to the tune of 45%. If you are that if your tax is, if you are an additional rate taxpayer, you can get up to 45%. So for somebody who is not working at all, whether if you're a child or you're on benefit, you don't work at all, or even when you are below 75 and and you don't pay taxes at all, you still get 20% from the government in addition to your SIP account for free. But if you are working and you're paying taxes, then your taxes and your income is below 50, the first threshold, which I think is the lower rate taxpayer, you get 20%. If you are the additional rate taxpayer, you get 25%. When you are now the above 120,000 and above, you get 75% back from any money you put into your SIP. They give you your tax back. Across your pension, you can only put in 60,000 in a particular tax year. Okay, so I'm going to go into real estate. So let me run through just so that places where you can open your investment account. If you are in Nigeria, you have all of these platforms. These are the new ones. These are the old generation ones, and these are new ones. Some of these we allow you to buy, invest in America. To buy the likes of Amazon and Google and Tesla of this world. These are traditional ones. You can buy ETFs and mutual funds from some of these traditional ones. If you live in America, these are the popular ones in America. I think the majority of us are in the UK. Canada, these are the popular ones in Canada. And then in the UK, these are the popular ones in the UK. I'm using this, and this, the first three. I just opened one. I've opened with Moneybox just to understand the way it works. I've opened with Interactive Investor just to understand the way it works. And but I don't have a great deal of money in them. But I have these three platforms are the ones that I actually use on a monthly basis. Okay. So I won't bore us with the difference because our time is far spent. And then how do you pick stock into your account? Look around you first, read what experts are saying, that research you can do, study the financial details of that market. And these are what I teach in my advanced class, and then have a conviction, and then you can start buying and you consolidate what you have in your investment. So let's go into another place where you can put that purpose money for your future, for the good future, is in real estate. Oh, it's if you look at a lot of rich people around, they have real estate. Very few of them don't have real estate. A lot of them have real estate. McDonald's, even McDonald's, they are into real estate business because most of their building, they own them. They are into real estate business, even though they are selling burger, because they are indirectly investing in physical assets. Okay, so what are the advantages of owning real estate? Leverage. Every other investment is cash and carry, but here you can put down 10%, 25%, and you get a bank will be willing to give onto you the remaining. How about Vanguard? Yeah, Vanguard is good, but Vanguard limits you to their own products. Vanguard limits you to ETFs. So that's something I didn't mention under the stock. When it comes to stock, there are different ways in which there are different instruments you can invest in when it comes to stock market. So you have, let me show us an example of a website where I can easily explain this. You have ETFs, you have individual stock. hr.co.uk is the largest investment platform in the UK, but it's expensive to use. Okay, I started using them. I've used them for years, but I'm moving away from them gradually. So you have shares, which are individual shares. You have funds, which are mutual funds. You have ETFs called exchange traded funds. You have investment trusts. They are similar to ETFs, but their legal structure is different. You have gilts and bonds. Gilt is what you borrow the government. Okay, bonds are what you borrow the corporate organizations. So you have all of these things you can put money into when it comes to the stock market. So what you will have on access to on a Vanguard is ETFs. Okay, you might not have access to individual shares because they are the father of ETFs. Okay, ETFs is a basket of shares put together, okay, into one. And if you, I go deeper into this, but let me just give us an example. If I pick a particular sector, let's say NASDAQ, for instance, maybe not NASDAQ, because NASDAQ, we know what is in NASDAQ. NASDAQ will give us a 100 company, top 10. So NASDAQ will have, okay, actually they didn't show the top 10 here. Let me look for a fund. Like I love Polar Capital. Let's look for Polar Capital. Polar Capital, it will give you a kind of it's not an ETF. Polar Capital is a fund. So Polar Capital Technology, it's not an ETF, it's a mutual fund. So there are different. So mutual fund is just like ETFs, but ETFs could be a tracker. Okay, you can see the return of this 40%, 23%, minus 20 in the year of inflation, plus 4, and the current year is 22%. That's a lot. If you average it, it's a lot more than what any savings account is going to give you. Okay, and so this we give you. This has got 65 companies in it. These are the top 10 companies in it, and then there are other 55 companies within it. It's got 6.5 trillion dollars in it. So it's a lot. It's a very massive fund and very profitable fund. I have it. So that's an example. So Vanguard will only give you things like that. You can't buy like Tesla or individual companies there. I think I believe I've answered that question. So real estate. So another thing about real estate is capital appreciation. I have practical examples of all these things that I can share with us. Is the fact that in the UK, it is estimated that every 10 years, the price of the value of a house will double every 10 years if you look at a period of 50 years. So if you look at the period of 50 years, it will have doubled so many times. Okay, in the chart, you are welcome. Okay, so the value, and I have an example of a house we bought 2010. I think it's more than double now. And then yeah, so it's around. So people are waiting for the price of house to come down. Some of us are not waiting for it to come down. We are quickly plugging into. And then I've seen examples of people who are, I have a chat with a lot of people, so I have the privilege of knowing what's going on in the market constantly. I have some of friends that are looking for houses, and then when they started, they saw it at 120, around 29. And they said it's too much, and they didn't buy. And then the following about 2 months, it has become 130. And because before the next one, it gone to 130. I mean 200 about 230. The next time they were looking, within a space of 3 months, they're now looking at 230. So from 220 something, I think maybe around 240 now that they are looking at. The rate, and the reason for that is because there is shortage of housing. We don't have enough houses in the UK. The current government is planning to build thousands of them. or we'll wait to see in the next 4 years. But there's limited supply of land. New lands are not being created. As we know right from the beginning of the world, except you are able to reclaim a little bit of the sea, land is limited in supply, and that makes a real estate gold at any time. The supply of it is limited. Then rental income, which gives you cash flow, when you have cash flow from properties, and that's one of the aim. I mean, if I'm looking at my retirement, it's not just in stock market. Retirement in real estate. By the time I'm retiring, I'm having a cash flow of up to 100,000 on a yearly basis from real estate. Okay, and at that point, you want those houses to have been paid off. If you don't pay all of them off, at least you have, out of that 100,000 on a yearly basis, maybe a 50K of it is coming into your pocket as income. And that is just one stream of cash flow for you, even in retirement. Okay, equity release is when you're able to pull out money from one real estate and you put that money into another real estate. Okay, and then your physical asset is something you can touch. It's a brick and mortar, you can touch it. Okay, and then you have housing shortage, like I've said, gives it that advantage of it being scarce, and then it's almost like a seller's market. And then you have the diversification of your portfolio. You are not only in the stock, you are in, you can, some of people are into precious metal. They buy gold. Gold is doing very fine right now because people are because of inflation, money is moving to gold. Gold reached almost the highest in the last few days or so price, and then it's doing very, very fine. So people buy gold and keep. The only issue is that you have to pay deposit. You have to pay money to secure it with the vaults. And then you have value, the store of value. It's also a store of value. It means no matter how much it goes up and down, your money, your deposit, your value is locked in within your real estate. These are different types of real estate investment. You have residential property. I can't go into details now. Commercial, industrial, mixed use, development, co-living investment, and then you have the vacation or short let, which is a very popular one on Airbnb. Now that's what you have on Airbnb and bookings.com. You have real estate flipping, and this is when you buy, you renovate, what they call the RRR. You buy, you repair it, you refurbish it, and then you either rent it out or you flip it. And then you have the real estate wholesaling. This is when you're a middleman, and then you market, you get this for people and they pay you money. I pay somebody about 5,000 or 6,000 before for getting me a piece of real estate deal that I got at a 15% discount in the market. Okay, rent to rent, and then rent to rent is when you don't own the house, but you're able to use it for short lets or for renting for residential purposes. Land acquisition, and then we have the last one, which is social housing, which is also becoming very popular now for assisted living and emergency accommodation. Council are paying a lot of money to people to be able to do that. Okay, my personal example, I'm just going to give one, then we wrap up. So we bought this house 2010, a 3-bed end of terrace, and that's another moral lesson I want to give, I can share with us as a personal example, that don't wait till when you can buy your mansion. A lot of us want our status house. This is who I am. This is where I want to live. This is the kind of house I want to live. It is good, okay? But I will tell you that get on the housing ladder as soon as you can. Your first house will not be your last house. You can stay there for this house. We lived in this house for just 2 years. Okay, we lived in it for just 2 years, but with a borrowed, let me use the word, with a borrowed 10,500 pounds, we were able to buy this house. It was 70,000. It wasn't in the best place in town. Okay, we knew we wouldn't be there for too long, and then the current value of the house is about 155,000 right now. Okay, and from this house, we've been able to pull equity out about 16,000. Had some money to it to buy another house, which is worth more than 360,000. Okay, so in this particular example, this 10,000 has become a value of more than 500,000 within that period of time. A borrowed 10,500 from Lloyds Bank then has become this. Okay, and that is the power of real estate. So what we have here is capital appreciation, equity release, okay, cash flow, because somebody rented the house out since 2012, and it's still bringing cash flow in up to today. Okay, because we still own the house even up to today. Sorry, that's my alarm. Okay, and so on and so forth. So I could go on and on and on, and then from there, other real estate investment has happened, and on and on and on like that. And so I won't. I will stop there for us to ask questions. If you have any question you want to ask, okay, let's ask. But like I've said, some people who have seen my advert before, there are next steps I want us to take is that give purpose to your money. When that money in the country where we live in, it's easy for you to realize that what you earn is not enough. When you were earning 2,000, everything went. When it's now 5,000, you still can't lay hold on the money. When you are now earning maybe 6 or 7 or 8,000, you still can't lay hold on that money. You're on 10,000, you're still wondering, where did my money went? I used to say, I don't humanize. I don't play lotto. I don't play this. Where's my money going to? Okay, you know that you just, but the money find a way of disappearing, and that is the reason why giving purpose to your money is very important. For those who joined us a little bit late, when you go back to the beginning of the video when I publish it on YouTube, please go and watch it and look at how to systematically give purpose to your money and automate the process, so you don't have to think about it. First, second day of the month, the thing has done itself. And out of those investment platform, that's investment platform that will invest for you automatically. You don't need to think about it. Select your basket of what you want, and the money leaves your account to that platform. The platform invests it for you automatically. You don't need to. You can throw away the key of that platform and open the next 5 years and see what is there. It does everything for you automatically once you've established your portfolio, which is something I can help you to do. We can do together, like I've done for quite a number of people who have gone through the masterclass. So create a purpose for every dime or every amount that flows through your hand. Don't forget to make sure you pay yourself, and then have an action to become debt-free if you are not yet debt-free. It's very important. You don't want your income to go into servicing credit card and personal loan and car loans. You want to avoid that. It's a trap. We want to try and avoid that. And then you want to open your investment account immediately. You want to fund it. You want further education. You want to come to the master class. And then you need an assistant. Reach out to me, and then we can have a chat. My number will be on our website. Where you registered from. Where you register for this webinar from, you will see my phone number somewhere there. That's my direct. I've used that phone number for the last 15 years, so it hasn't changed. Okay, masterclass. What do you stand to gain? So if you want more education, you want us to practicalize this, and then you have an account opened, you have it funded, you have it, the kind of things you want in it. We agree together, we look at it together, you have it there, and for the next 2-3 years, all you need to do is to just give it a standing order. Money is going in there and it's being invested for you. You might want to come to the masterclass, and the more experience will be shared on real estate too. So you have how do you pick, analyze stock and put things into your portfolio, your mutual fund, your ETFs, individual stocks, formulating a strategy based on your risk appetite and your age. Look at practical sessions. You join the Discord where it's only like-minded people are there. It's a very quiet Discord where we talk about investment, and I share once a week or once in 2 weeks, talk about things that are happening in the market and things that I am personally doing, just to give people more confidence. And then you leverage on other people's experience. You become a doer, and then I share my portfolio strategy. And in fact, you take a look at you get a peep into my portfolio. I don't hide that from people who have gone through the master class. To register for that is you can go to this particular link on my website. That would be masterclass. Is 120, and what you get with that 120 is that you get free mentoring. Okay, you can either use PayPal to pay by clicking on this link, or you can pay into my Monzo Bank account and send me your details. That will be, the next one is going to be in September, and that's not July, that's going to be 14th of September. That will be next 14th of this month. Maybe that should be next week, I think. If today is 5th, that will be next week. That will be happening on a Saturday. So the 120 is going to give you a 5-hour trading on a Saturday. Thereafter, we now have mentoring sessions that will come free with it. But the end of it, the end point, which is what is important, is that you would have established your investment account at the end of that class. The end point is that you would have established your investment account, and you can now start putting money, your future, good future money into. And then you also know where to put your fund money, your good memory money, like we explained at the beginning, where you're going to put that into, that will give you either 5.2% per annum, or a place where you have a chance of winning 1 million if you are that lucky, and then you can get your money back at any time. I'll be able to explain all of that to us at that point. So let me keep quiet now and allow questions. So if you want to register, just like I said, head off to here, click on this. That's going to take you to a Zoom page, and then fill this small form. Click on this, that will take you to PayPal, and then through that, continue to PayPal. From PayPal, you can make that payment, or you can, or alternatively, you can put it into that Monzo account and send me your email, and I will register you manually for that particular event happening on the 14th Saturday. Okay, I'm just talking so that I'm waiting for questions to come in, clarifications, questions. If you want to know more about this, you have my number. You can reach out to me at any time. Okay, so in the absence of question, if you gain one or two things, give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Quite a number of us here tonight. If you gain one or two things, something, no matter how little, let me see a thumbs up from you. Give me some encouragement. Give me some encouragement that you've gained one or two things from this class. Anybody doing that? Okay, thank you. That's a lot of encouragement. Thank you. Okay, so we'll be wrapping up now. And in the absence of no question, we'll be wrapping up. Please follow us on social media. We are there on all social media, and our handle is at ibwf.com. If you go to Twitter, ibwf.com. If you go to Instagram /ibwfg.com. If you go to, that's our page. If you go to YouTube, it's also at ibwfg.com. So that is the handle. You'll be able to. So I'm going to upload that video to this place. I'm going to give us that URL. This particular video, let me put it in the chat for us. So for this, once this video is ready, I will upload there, and then you will be able to listen to that video again. Okay, thank you very much for coming tonight. I hope it's been a good use of your time. And for further information, please reach out via either email, phone number, or on our website. So I appreciate you coming tonight. Do have a wonderful evening. God bless. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, Boyin. Thank you. Okay, we're ending the meeting now.